Howdy. I think we are ready and up and running, hopefully. See how this goes. Hello. Yeah, sorry for being a little bit late, everyone. OBS was doing the funny thing where it just does not want to equalize the audio from the microphone, which usually turns me into a robot. So it should be fixed now after like 5 restarts. We shall see. Hello. I see Kevin. Welcome. Lando, Floof. Nice to see you all. And hopefully, we are actually up and running. I can only pray that it is, in fact, working. But yeah, I think we are ready to give this a bit of a go. Afternoon, Edster. We thank Cosby takes note because this is how we will likely start every race this season. That's kind of funny, to be fair. But yeah, we are ready here, I think, to get going, I hope. Please give me a just a heads up if the stream is functioning, because it's telling me it's not online on my end, and that is worrying me quite a bit. Take notes. I have your notepad ready. Good. It's okay. Nice, Riley. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, the stream is working. Thank you. Nice. With that, let's just get started here. So currently, when we left last time around, we have taken Sainz and Alonso here in the Sauber to a 4th place with basically 10 races to go here. Right now, Lando Norris and Max Verstappen is a little bit hard to keep up with, but both of our drivers have outscored the Mercedes boys. I think I'll be happy with that. But yeah, we need to get going if we are to catch up to the top team. So let's just do a little bit of remembering of where we are at the moment. Is the car first by a mile? I don't think it is. We are 5th and 9th in cornering. We are 10th in top speed and DRS. So we have a little bit of work here. There. Do I know why your drivers are not fast in my first and second fastest car on the first half of the race? Riley, are you saying that you have the fastest and second fastest car, and your drivers are bad at the first half of the race? That could just be the fuel weight of the car. It could be your drivers having bad smoothness. It could be a number of things, actually. Do I have any advice? I'm 16 million in debt, and I don't want to go back to the original spec parts because they're crap. Honestly, you might have to just bite the bullet here, because there's no real way to get money in this game easily. You just have to save up those 16 million again, and since you're going to be stuck emergency manufacturing, that's going to be a bit of a pain there, JJD. Of course, depending on where you are, the situation with sponsors, with race payouts, there might be a way to recover, but it's safe to say you're in trouble with 16 million in the negatives. So Chow is a beautiful name. I'm glad you appreciated that one, Poconaldo. Embrace the sacking, basically. Yeah, you are going to have to play very, very conservatively, not really spend money at all until you're back in the positives. I got Max in the fast car, so that's both championships locked in. The thing is, the board hates wasteful spending so much that you might still be in trouble, even if you win the championships there. There are people who have been fired when they've won everything because the board has not been happy with their decisions. Let's just put it like that. I think what we're going to do here is make a new chassis. That's going to be the first order of business. Just get that going. We have some designs here that are going to be finishing off over the course of the summer break. 25 days, underfloor side pod, suspension. But yeah, we need to get this car a little bit better so that we have any sort of chance to catch 265 points there is what we need to gain on McLaren. if you want to win in the last 10 races. That's going to be a little bit difficult. 27 points gained on average. We are going to need some 1-2 finishes, to put it lightly. Treya, Puyula, and do I have another one? Maloney. To the sponsor pit you go. Just like that. And honestly, manufacturing-wise, we probably should make some new parts here. We're not going to be making any front wings or rear wings in the future, so let's just stock up on a couple of them. We don't have a lot of money, which is a bit of an issue. But there isn't really much I can do about it. I change team every season anyways, who cares? Sounds like you got everything then locked in, and it actually isn't as big of a problem in JJD as you made it sound initially. I think you will be fine then. I'm pretty sure you would agree with me with that expectation. Yeah, we are not in a good spot here with parts. It's actually kind of terrible. Let us speed along. Hello, David. Does this challenge have the 25 DLC? Or is it not possible since mid-season? I can do the 25 DLC visuals, but I've disabled them for this one because it is mid-season and we started this challenge, so to speak, without them. So yeah, I've disabled them due to that. Hello, Ty. Am I actually doing the races? Yes, we are going to be doing the races. I'm doing good. Thank you, David. How are you doing? I've been able to cope with this much for in the second seat for Ferrari in AM after I poached Sainz and Alonso. So, second seat for Aston Martin and Ferrari. So we have Charles Leclerc. That one's well safe. They promoted Hauger. Ferrari promoted the Hauger after we kidnapped Carlos. And in terms of the Aston, they just picked up Show. We did a straight up swap there, Alonso for Show. I think we came out ahead there with that one. Honestly, I don't think I can be too upset with that trade. I got the Alpine cap and shirt ready for this. We are getting point. What is the best way to start a race? That's going to be highly dependent on your difficulty, Riley. But if you're playing on hard difficulty, say, the AI always loves to push for the first 5 laps. And I just like running light. Light and deploy battery for the first lap until DRS becomes available. And then you just get that time back towards the end of the stint. But honestly, it doesn't make much of a difference. But I feel like when you're playing against AI, the best thing to do is just take it easy. Because the AI is pretty bad. So as long as you take it easy, it generally comes back to you over the course of a race. Since we're starting at the back, though, it doesn't really matter. So we need to get by the slower cars ahead of us anyways. So generally, with this challenge, I'm going to go full attack most times with a soft. And just try and undercut everyone. Okay, let's lower that chance of making a mistake a little bit more. We do have a very, very slow pit stop, so I like to get these stats up to 90. Let's just get that sorted. Get a little bit more balance going here because some stats are 90, some aren't. And while it is true that some stats are more efficient than others, I would like to have a semblance of equality. Basically just makes it easy to just do the same training over and over again. But if the stats are so different, like a 5 different gap, I might lose something. So this works out. There's just 1 point between them. And with this, we're actually going to start putting in a little bit of training here in the gym. As you can see, we don't actually build up any fatigue because we actually recover enough that we don't build up fatigue with just a focus on getting the aero chance down, which is why I really like to do it during summer breaks. It's why I really like to do it at the start of races. And that is what we're doing here with the pit crew. That is going to be good. Should be able to put in 1 more gym training here, and then we'll be basically rested up before we go to next race weekend. And we put in another. That is our pit crew getting their training for the month. What have I been doing this save? In your Cyber Championship 1 season, you had the best car by this stage. It's because it's the 2025 season DLC, Floof. The 2025 season DLC, it's a lot easier to get the drivers. you already have Hulk at 94. In this case, we had to assign 2 drivers, so it's Sauber. And the cars are closer, which means the AI starts at a higher point. They can't develop as quick. Basically means that making the cars lighter is more valuable. So with that in mind, the 2025 season DLC is actually a little bit easier with catching up with the car to the AI, because you'll have more financial power. There's not as many drives available for you to kind of snatch. I still think that getting science rather than getting an extra upgrade in every part is more valuable here for this save. But if we also take a look here, the car analysis, compare this to the McLaren car, we aren't really that far behind. We are 30 points in low speed. We are 40 points in medium. We're a good 80 to 90 in high speed. But that isn't really that much because of the high speed. So all in all, we aren't in a terrible position. But that's also due to the fact that McLarens have gone insane on the extra weight. They've gone down to under 7 kilograms. And that is very rare for the AI to do. So giving us a bit of extra fight like that. Even with the Red Bull here, they've done kind of a similar thing. But yeah, we are lacking in high speed. But in low and medium, we're actually pretty comparable. So honestly, if I was starting at the same place as the AI in this, I think we would be leading the championship by now. It just slows us down so much. F1 Manage 2025 won't be released. Everything points that it's not happening, unfortunately, see you in hell. Basically, they haven't gone out and confirmed it, but I don't think it's going to happen. If it does, I'm not expecting anything huge. Okay, suspension design completed. And honestly, I'm probably just going to start another one right away. Financially, we're still in a bit of a tough spot, which is fine. But yeah, getting this tire preservation up to 60 would be huge. So let's just keep going with that. And we're getting an underfloor and a side pod done. And I'm wondering if I put CFD in the side pod last time. I kind of have a feeling I did. So that side pod might be a huge upgrade. Still not good enough, says Blue. If you had to be a staff, which job would I have? I would be lazy and make team strategy. That seems the most calm and relaxing job. Unless, of course, you are hired by Ferrari. I stand by what I said. I expect better. That's fair. Let's see if we can actually turn it around, though, this time around. Well, fairly well, Theo. You've gone to the Haas crew, and Ferrari has done the Ferrari thing and kidnapped a overall 50 driver. F1 managed jobs like the key staff. Well, let's see here. Could I be a race engineer? I think I would do better at that than any sort of aero or technical stuff. I'm gonna have to be honest. Sporting director, managing the pit crew. I feel like that would just be tedious. So I would rather have a driver yell at me and I can yell back at them and treat them like disobedient little children. I think that would be fun in the constant F1 Manager universe. I'll do that myself. Show them how it's done. Okay, let's see now if this sidepod design is one that had CFD time invested into it. And honestly, I can already see that that is yes. The question here now is, do I gamble the engine cooling? I think the answer to that also is yes. Yeah, we gamble engine cooling here. I'm happy with doing this. Might even just go ahead and do this. Now, remember, we're not far behind in these stats, really. So I'll be able to just do this. And we are going to make yet another underfloor. Now, another thing also, if you do want to compare this to what I did in the... I kind of need an extra side port here just to be on the safe side because it's still 28 days. Basically Baku when we get that one. But if you want to also compare the current stats versus what I was getting done in the video I made, I did change my engines there, because you can actually change your engines in the 2025 mod, because you actually start in 24 and then you tick over to 25. So I did change the Red Bull engines there. We're still on whatever Sauber starts with in this one, which is a bit of a problem. Yeah, let's speed that up a little bit. We'll get that done then a little bit quicker. And with that, I think we're ready to just jump into Zandvoort here. Try and get back in this slowly. Did I just... yeah. I want to see it fail so badly, Flu. What? Lena Boulahe is also getting kidnapped as it stands. Question here is, how is actually our cars looking? Medium risk on everything, medium risk on sideboards. That tells me we make one just to be on the safe side here. There'll be a lot of close races coming up now, which is going to be a bit of an issue. I think once we get to Singapore, Austin, we'll be okay. But surviving to that point is going to be a little bit difficult. I could put myself in debt here, and that would be not good. That would be not good at all. We still have a little bit of mentality buff going here. It's not amazing, but it is getting better. Let's see if we can get a good result here in Zandvoort. That's going to do wonders for the challenge ahead of us here. But yeah, 11th expected car performance, 16th and 14th are our goals here. Let's see if we can actually beat that. I think it is doable, but it might be a little bit challenging. A lot of raining in practice, that doesn't matter. We are just going to simulate a quali here. I think also it is time that we start doing this. Basically manage parts. Particularly if we're going to go even lower on the... if we are going to go even lower on cooling, then I'm going to need to. And we need to save up 2.5 million here, because Alonso will need a new ERS at one point. That's going to suck. A lot. I'd be up for Nero attempting a driver and constructor championship challenge in season 1 with the 25 DLC with the following rules. Not a top 4 team, keep the original drivers and staff. Good overtaking spots at Zandvoort. I think that's doable. I think that is doable indeed. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do with the Sauber video that I released last time, for those of you who are curious, is we're gonna do a because I didn't do a single research project that season, and we have the big regulation change happening that exact season, and I might try and see how do you deal with doing no research for the big regulation change season? Can you still take a championship title? That sort of thing. I think that could be a fun little thing to do. The AI isn't necessarily amazing at research either, so it could be a fun little side project to take a look at here. So, I think we gambled this. The signs. I think that would be a good idea. For Alonso, it's actually pretty easy to figure out where this is supposed to be. And I think this is just good enough. Let's get to quali here. Although, let's face it, we're not going to participate in quali because it's just a waste of... just a waste of tires. Now that I think about it. Because I notice you often buy in new drivers and staff right away, which I understand is hell of a challenge. But just be interesting to see how you cope without changing drivers. That's true. Most of these challenges I do min-max, and your The easiest way to get performance early on when you do challenges is to get better drivers and staff. But yeah, it would be interesting to see how far I could take like a base team without changing their drivers and staff to in a challenge like that. It's I do agree. It could be fun. What is starting early, Floof? What have you created? Gasly's first incident on the stream. You did say that the Alpines were going to get points there, and Gasly is kind of poised right now to get that. Russell in a problematic situation, and does actually get out of there. Ocon out. How many times I send my drives out on track and qualifying? Usually twice. One in the beginning and one towards the end if I'm not safe. So generally, I'll just do it once, but if I feel the need, I will send my drivers out an extra time in order to secure a good time towards the end of qualifying session. But 2 times is generally the limit there, unless rain, for instance, changes things around. I suggest Alpine, but Floof would probably want to do that himself. That is the Floof way. But yeah, McLaren 1-2 here is going to put us in a heap of trouble because we need to catch them and overtake them. So the challenge here has been set. Put it like that. I don't think with Sauber you're going to be able to pull off the pit lane challenge here, but I would be interested to try this with another team again in future. Yeah, we are going to... Yeah, now I remember why I did 1 lap in quali. It's just that I can sell the car setup. Yeah, we should have still done just that 1 lap. But for now, we'll just have to do it like this. It is Zandvoort. There's no way around it. We are going to basically just take a chill pill. Try and survive this in the best way that we can. Now, this is the general strategy that I would usually use something like this. But we are starting so far towards the back that I am thinking that we go for that massive undercut. The best way that I can think we can do that is if we go... Just burn that soft, get in the pit lane first. Go soft, and then we finish off here with a lighter medium. It is going to lose us a little bit of time. 2 seconds compared to our current strategy, but let's face it, we're going to lose more than 2 seconds if we are stuck in traffic. Well, it's actually 4 seconds, but yeah, we're going to lose more than 4 seconds being stuck in traffic for 24 laps rather than just try and get by in 12. So we'll do it like that. Or our second driver here, I'm kind of tempted to try to switch him on to a little bit of a different one, where we do medium first. Then we might need to do 3 soft stints here. Going to be really close, but we could try and make this work. And that is the gamble that we are going to go for here. This way we get a little bit different strategy for both of our drivers, but early enough pit stops that we can undercut most of the field and thus stay out of trouble. We are going to underfuel. It's just very, very powerful. A good way to save 10, 15, 20 seconds of race. So we are, of course, going to take advantage of that. Hello, Corey. How you doing? I'm so happy you're still trying. Well, nice to see you there. You should get like an F1 engineer job. You'd be good. Maybe. But yeah, we are gonna try this out. See how it works. And I need a reminder of how the pain was here.
Here we go. It's the Dutch Grand Prix.
I see mediums at front. That's actually really, really good for us.
And away we go.
This is the Sauber POV for this challenge. But yeah, honestly, I am going to deploy battery here for the first half a lap just. Honestly, I've already deployed enough with 30%. And basically now we are just going to allow them to catch up. And they are going to catch up pretty easily because since everyone's running in a train, no one is running at their maximum pace because they kind of are going to just bundle up in the corners. And with that, we're going to reel them in within a lap or two. Imagine being behind Alpine after one lap. Disgraceful. I wouldn't be too worried. What matters is where you are after, 72 laps around here at least, Floof. So we'll have to see how that one goes. But yeah, you can already see Alonso just being so much quicker on those soft tires. And it does make sense. But here's when the trouble begins. Gaps are starting to form. Show, Gasly being a bit slow. We have Hauge in front of us now being a little bit of a nuisance. But we basically just need to start clearing these cars out as quickly as possible. And, well, close down these gaps, even if we are planning to pit early on. Sauber point of view this stream, and Ferrari point of view championship stream. We shall see about that, yeah. Currently though, Alonso has already moved up 2 places. Make that 3rd maybe. As our former teammate here, Show, is the next target up, but the DRS train is back. And I generally don't want to use too much battery before the first pit stop, but there's already a 3-second gap here with Sargent heading up to the front. And that's kind of the issue here. We've already lost more than 3 seconds because of where we are to the cars in the lead. And that is a 3 seconds that is very, very difficult to get back. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be pretty challenging to get that time back. So that is really why we want to just try and get as many moves as we can done early here, pit, and get most of the overtakes done without actually needing to be on track. Yeah, Alonso now, battery is low, Sainz battery is low.
No DRS, sorry.
We are gonna have to rely on DRS to get any future overtakes done. Just like that for Alonso. No, passing through DRS trains is so rough. Yeah, you need either energy, a lot better tires, or just a superior driver. Go walk on, go to the sand realm. Give Floof pain, but as you can see already, the top 8 train here has already gained over 10 seconds on us, just because of the fact that we are stuck in traffic. That's what makes this so difficult. And honestly, very annoying. You can see even Sainz is just struggling to get anything done. We should have put him on the soft tires as well. Yeah, burner soft. Try and clear as quickly and efficiently as possible. Alonso's doing a great job at it right now. But even he can't make more than just an overtake every second lap or so. That just isn't enough at the moment. Just 3 cars ahead though, and once we clear them, that is when Alonso will find some freedom. So we're going to use a little bit of energy here to get past 1, maybe even 2, just like that. And the Alpine is next up on the dinner menu. Floof's support can only go so far, and finally Alonso now will have a little bit of clean air. But yeah, 15 seconds behind the lead at the moment, basically over a pit stop behind. Well, less than a pit stop, but you get the idea. And for Sainz, those medium tires just aren't doing him any favors. We're gonna have to recharge the battery and try and make a move. We could put him on an extra soft strength here, but we would have had to pit him a lot earlier if we wanted to make that happen. Look what you did to Esteban. Our custom drivers at 73 rating is slower than real drivers at 73 rating. That's going to highly depend on if every side is 73, then the 2 drivers are identical. But if one driver has more pace stats than the other at 73, then that driver is going to be quicker. It's just that simple, really. Okay. Sainz is, again, just stuck in hell. In terms of lap times here, we're doing 17.1s. That is not good enough. We're still losing over a second to the cars up front. But once we pit here now, we can start trying to reel them in a little bit at least. Right now, Piastri is being a little bit of a nuisance. Paris is going to pit fairly early here. But everyone else is staying out for long. Hulkenberg needs to pit. Sainz might actually get a little bit of freedom here just because other cars will need to pit. Time to get Alonso in. We are going to put him onto the soft tire and see if we can do any undercutting to top 10. Basically, we've already cleared all the cars that are annoying. So undercutting isn't really on the menu anymore. I should just put him on a medium tire, to be fair. But I'm not too worried. Need to ease back into this. How could I do this to you? Very easily, Floof. Very, very easily. With pleasure, one might say. With great happiness, I've done this to you. We have a yellow flag now, as multiple cars have crashed, and I see a Hauger parked on the side of the road. Safety car are kind of like bread and butter, and of course it is Ocon that is involved in that. Look at how Ocon massacred a boy. But yeah, that gives Alonso a little bit of extra freedom, really, to catch up. But yeah, 42 seconds down the road, 13 laps in is not a good look, let's be honest. Hauge with penalty, so actually Hauge massacred Ocon, which is more accurate, I guess. Sainz did get some free places, yes. Now it's just actually clearing these two, so let's see if we can do it with a little bit of energy, a little bit of DRS help. The two cars in front are getting to the point where they might puncture, so they should really both just get into pit lane at the end of this. We'll have to see, though. Gasly is being a nuisance right now, and it did lose a lot of time. It did, however, dive into the pits. And where do we actually come? Perez actually, again, Perez is just straight up a pit stop ahead of Sainz at the moment. 17 blanks is what Alonso's doing, and that just isn't good enough at the moment. But we'll see if we can come back towards the end of this. Why are we immediately back to constant pain for Alpine? Because that is one of the realities of this world, Floof. 2 out of 2 incidents have been Alpine. True. As Alonso now finally moves up and catches up to the back of the order here again. Dan Rick is being a bit annoying. But it makes sense, you know, soft tire. This is Zandvoort, soft tires are best.
There is a crash.
There is a crash.
A lot of debris. A lot of debris.
Is it Alpine again? Of course it is. What? I'm so sad that I skipped that, because that's literally Floof's live reaction we heard there with the scream from Hauge. That scream from Hauge was literally Alpine live reaction. Floof live reaction. Is there another penalty? No penalties this time around. Let's see if we can get by. Okay. We can. Yeah, for Sainz now, it's just destroy these tires. That's literally the name of the game. I think we're going to struggle a little bit with getting into top 3 this season. We're definitely not winning. I think if I redo this, it might be viable, but I would need to just dismantle McLaren by kidnapping their race engineers rather than kidnapping Red Bulls. I think I nerf Red Bull a little bit too hard by stealing GP. What is the best thing to upgrade overall? A low cornering front wing. This is actually going to be one of the better things. High preservation on suspension. A full cornering underfloor. The thing is, everything has their pros and cons in terms of what you want to upgrade, so you kind of want to get the whole package. Nero, can we end stream? Not yet. I'm planning to stream for hopefully another couple of hours. At the very leastest. Question here is, do I want to do something stupid with Sainz? And by stupid, I mean go full attack. So yeah, do we want to go insane asylum strategy? Because Sainz has so many activities that he can use his softs for. Theoretically quicker, which is all nice, but I'm kind of tempted to do this. It's just make sure that we have fresh tires for the entire thing. And even if I do this and go on 3 soft tires, Science will still have 2 spare soft tires for incidents. That is amazing. So let's try that with Science. We'll do something a little bit different for him. But Alonso, we're just sticking with what we have, I think. Currently, we're still pretty slow, however, so I might want to switch that around. But we'll see. If we change your strategy, Alonso, what would it be? It would be something similar to this, which would actually be quite a lot quicker. I think also the gaps here are big enough that we can make this viable, is the thing. Yeah, we're doing this. The gaps are big enough that we can make it viable. It's just a little bit too cold right now to make a light strategy work around here. So we need to change the strategy a tiny bit. 3-second pit stop is not great. And once again, I found the pit camera. Yeah, Alonso in 12th. We have Sainz in 14th here. We only have Perez and Hamilton ahead that has pitted, so it's not a terrible position to be for Alonso here, but we're gonna have a hard time getting in the points around here. Binotto called me and said Spinala. Couple hours of all pain indeed, and immediately his internet committed seppuku too, with buffering. I feel like YouTube does not want Floof to witness the miracle that is the pit lane challenge. Alonso's doing a good job, Sainz is doing a good job, and as mentioned here in terms of tires, Tsunoda has pitted, Stroll hasn't, Russell hasn't. I don't think we can undercut Russell, but he did pick up a problem, and honestly Hamilton has already caught up to him. It's not as terrible as it seems right now, because Alonso should have basically free air now till the end of the race, or till we catch up to a car in front. So for Alonso's sake, I just need to recharge the battery when given the opportunity and then move forwards. It's kind of similar for Sainz here, but people that pit ahead are gonna be in his way, and that's gonna be a bit of a problem. But for Alonso, getting points here at least is on the table now, which is always nice to see. Always nice to see some potential points to be gained. We'll speed this one up a little bit because honestly there isn't much I can do at this moment. For Sainz, we could try and help him out a little bit, but let's say he's going to get that overtake done on his own. There's not really much I can do to interfere. The only thing would be to use energy, but it's Albon. He has worse tires, he's in a Williams. The second we get to the next DRS zone, that overtake should be set in stone, basically. Maybe not. Maybe I'm underestimating the Williams speed. Maybe we do need to use a little bit of the battery.
Copy.
Pit window has been entered here for Alonso, which means we go full attack now. With that, we get one car. Alonso right now is doing not the greatest lap times. There's still a second quicker up ahead. And again, we are basically a pit stop behind. And that is not great. Not great at all. I love how Fluff's just falling further and further behind, while Norris has done something.
It was safety car. Very positive.
Oh, Perez is out. Norris has done something. What happened here? Oh.
Huge accident, guys.
Yeah, a huge accident. That was some... That was one slide. That was a slide from hell. That was the slide from hell. Nice to pop in and see Floof Pain. That's how you know it's a proper stream. Nice. Can't stay long, it's working, but have a good stream. Appreciate that, Petro.
Okay.
Thank you for dropping in. Hope work is good. But yeah, should I pit Alonso is the question here. And that question can be easily answered by how much time do I save? Just 2 seconds. 20% soft tie is worth more than 2 seconds. So we will stay out. Although, to be fair, if we pit Paris with penalty. Paris actually helping us out a little bit there. Might be worth pitting. The problem with pitting, though, is that Sainz, Albon, Show all are kind of within range of the pit stop, causing us some problems. So I think it is better to stay out. Just extend that gap a little bit as Norris now comes in the pit lane. I need the safety car to end while Alonso is in the middle of a corner. If it ends in the middle of the DRS straight here, or even the main straight, I'm going to be very, very sad. Norris also picked up some permanent damage. I assume that's suspension. But he's now on the very similar... Oh my god.
Ending now. Oh, okay.
It's going to end at the worst place ever. Middle of the main straight. You'll be seeing the guards behind here gain a lot of time on us because of that. Suddenly they're now 16 seconds behind. Even less than that, yeah. 16 seconds. We don't like that. More like a hockey check of Perez. The engine allowed it, that would have been a flip. Yeah, potentially. What is the pit lane challenge? Basically, every race, I have to start from the pit lane. So, we're playing the worst team, Sauber. We start from the pit lane every race, and we see how well we do over the course of the season. That is basically what it is, Max. What's the best sponsor? I have the 19 best cars, so should I do more upfront engagement or race day? I generally like race day, because I generally have an easy time getting the race day goals completed. If you have drivers that aren't stable and generally don't do that, I would probably not go for as much race day. Engagement is way easier to get by now, so you can just get it for your affiliates, put them on basically media duties. Upfront is always nice. You'll get a little bit less, but you'll get the money immediately. So it's very dependent on your situation, but all of them have their uses. As we see Danny, Rick, and Gasly now. You gotta be kidding me!
Now just keep your eyes on Gasly here. Now there's an inviting opportunity there, and the contact between the cars.
Oh, so not only did they crash once, but Danny Rick just bump. That is amazing. That's actually amazing. I need to clip that just so Floof can watch it, because Floof's 3 minutes behind the live. I need another replay, need another angle, because that was just beautiful.
What the
Gasly's reaction to is mwah, chef's kiss.
And clearly then, not what everyone in the garage would have wanted to see.
I love how Floof is just 3 minutes behind, and it's just in chat going, what happened in the future? Please tell me. I need to know. But yeah, Alonso right now, again, we're not catching top 4. 5th is viable though. And if the Alpines are going to keep on causing these incidents and, you know, constantly, we might see something else happen. But yeah, Alonso now, I think we're going to pit. We are going to come out behind Show and Stroll most likely. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem passing them. That should be doable. Penalty goes the way of... Huh? How did Gasly get penalized? So Gasly is the car ahead. Danny Rick sends it in deep and clips his rear wing. Sorry, his rear tire. They both go off track, and then Danny Rick gives him a lob tap on the way back on track. I guess the FIA thought Gasly brake checked him on the rejoin. That's the only like logical reason I can imagine. But that is hilarious, no matter how you want to slice it. I'm speechless. Yellow flag again. The Alpine seems to be fine. It's show this time around. Oh, that is amazing. But yeah, I don't understand how Gasly picked up a penalty, but that is the icing on the cake. Norris's fault has evolved. Today is a good day. We have Norris in chat, we have Floof in chat, and of course both of their favorite teams and drivers are getting shafted here. All that is missing for this to be a hallelujah is Piastri and Verstappen crashing each other out. And then I would be very, very happy. We'll have to see if my wishes get granted, though. I kind of doubt it. Let's see what Norris's fault actually is. It is a gearbox failure. And it could very soon also get an ERS failure and an engine failure. So that car is on its last legs already. Nero, can you please instead put the full name in Season 5, Sir Chow? If you want to be Sir Chow, Poco, I can do that. I can also just call your drivers Sir and have last name be Chow Poco. Poco? If you will. It's up to you. Just poke me on Discord and I'll get that sorted for next season. But yeah. Gasly now serving that penalty. It needs to be witnessed. Gasly now in last after that penalty serving. Now, Alonso is actually kind of starting to get by show. Which is not a good thing. Please get by. We can't lose time behind other cars. Halfway point in the race now, and we are 45 and 53 seconds off the leaders. That is not good. That is, we are soon going to be lapped territory. And I think it is going to happen, unfortunately, for Sainz here once we do actually pit him. It's going to be really, really close. Sainz is going to need to use a little bit of deploy here just so we can make sure that he doesn't get lapped. Because getting lapped, it's going to slow us down tremendously. Question is, are they DRS swapping right now? Yes, they are using DRS to keep up with each other. Sainz is fine for the time being, but we do have issues with lapping being a potential problem here. But now, let's see if we can break away from Albon and catch up a little bit more towards Alonso. That is going to be the hope. If I put his name as I love Ferrari when he's not even driving for them anymore, I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna make him Alpine lover. I think Lando. Side question: is FP1 a good method for training up an affiliate, as it used to be in previous games? They don't outright show experience for practice session anymore. I would do FP1s, yeah. It's just a little bit of extra XP gain, a little bit of extra progression. It's not a huge amount though, but it is beneficial over the course of a season. Yeah, let us see what we can do here, particularly with Alonso. Catching Stroll. Russell now with a mechanical fault. We might get 2 positions for free. We'll take that, those freebies, if they are granted to us. Not gonna say no. I just got to the Rick and Gasly crash, and your cackle was not needed. Wow, Floof is... Like, I'm gonna have to sit here for an hour after stream at this rate and just see what Floof has to say. Oh, never mind. I have been hit by karma. And it is Alonso that had got karma. That is pretty unfortunate, I'm not gonna lie. Luckily we have tire enough to make it a not an issue, and we have retained very high confidence. So, while it sucks, it's not race ending. Luckily, we lost about 3 seconds there. I got cursed by Floof's Revenge. That was a pretty... I'm not gonna lie. If that was Floof's Revenge, it was pretty disappointing. Okay, let's see if we can get by this annoyance that is show. And we now have both cars and points. Lovely. But yeah, Alonso did lose a little bit of that medium tire, which is fine. It's not a huge deal. Hamilton could do the insane thing and try and go till the end on these hards as he passes the rather laps. The Alpine. But yeah, right now we do have some concerns regarding being lapped ourselves. I'm not gonna lie. Thank goodness gravel doesn't trap cars. Yeah. To be fair though, I think that's fine. Like gravel not trapping cars. We are gonna deploy because I feel like Stroll behind me is a terrible idea. I can feel a disturbance in the force basically. And it's not in a good way. But yeah, Zandvoort is one of those tracks where there isn't really much we can do in terms of strategy, because most strategies are going to be the same in terms of pace. That does limit our options for making strategic choices that will allow us to get an advantage over the other teams. Right now, we are still slower than Piastri, and Norris is coming into the pits. Norris is basically about to get lapped by his teammate. One McLaren, ha 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 ha. Two McLaren. Oh, did Piastri bin it? No. It was Sargent. That's no fun. Game isn't advanced enough to handle gravel traps. I think if there was gravel traps with how cars crash in this, you'd just have constant safety cars. Every single race. Okay. Piastri and Verstappen will have to pit at one point. I honestly think with just 7 or 8 laps until we want to pit Alonso here, we just go full attack on the mediums, and worst case scenario, we just go a little bit light on our final soft stint. Yellow flag now again.
Here we've got a yellow flag.
Alpine.
Right, let's have a look here as we go into turn 8. That's the moment they lose it. And that won't do anything to help those tyres.
Safety car, he's stuck in the gravel. Lando getting lapped by Oscar seems like a Lando thing. Well, to be fair, Lando's car is about to explode, so I don't know if I would call it a Lando thing. Now, here's something you don't see each day also. Here you have one Ferrari, and there you have second Ferrari. Find one thing wrong with this picture. Incident number 5. I love how you guys are just updating Floof of his future Alpine adventures. But yeah, what is wrong with this picture? Ferrari's still in the race? No, one of the Ferraris is lapped. The second one here is Hauger. And, well, he's not actually fighting Verstappen. Let's just put it like that. Indeed, Dennis is lapped. I wish I could speak Greek to make sense of your name, but yeah. Dennis is indeed lapped, you're not wrong. And for Floof, do we want to give Floof one nice thing? I feel like if we give Floof one nice thing, he's gonna want another and then another. Average representation of Floof and Cosby, 17th and 18th. How are we doing those last times? 13-8 then, 14-2. We're actually gaining a little bit right now. But we're still, you know, a minute behind, so it doesn't really matter. We're just trying to, you know, prevent the inevitable at this stage. I think we go full attack with Science 2 and we do a light soft. It hasn't gotten any hotter. But I would like to avoid being lapped here.
Now there's been an issue in
with
the
all
pits.
its worth, because Russell could explode at any time. Norris could explode at any time. We have two, you know, Alpines that could crash into each other at any given time. So I have hopes that we will have a safety car before the end of this. That is what I am banking on. Russell and the Alpine actually comes in holding hands, basically. Odds for the last 20 laps in the race there for the Alpine driver, as Piastri now finally comes in. That's going to allow us some freedom to avoid getting lapped. You can even see the cars unlapping themselves, but the second we pit again, we're going to be in danger. And let's say we are very likely to still end up getting lapped here. Danny Rick now with a mechanical fault. No worries, it's George. Good to know. I'll try and remember that, George. But yeah, right now, it's not going well. We just lost so much time trying to get through the traffic, really. It's just the nature of the game. Verstappen is on hard, Leclerc on hard, Piastri on softs. Hamilton is going to be pitting, but he's already a pit stop ahead, so it doesn't really matter. 5th and 6th seems to be the realistic best positions we can go for, as Sargent now spins. This time at least it was not Floof. Let us get both of them set up here for the final pit stops. We'll take Sainz in this lap, we'll take Alonso in on the next. Then we're gonna need these guys to not DRS train off each other in such a good fashion. A little bit. That could be worse for the Alpine. Not isn't happy seeing Sauber in 5th and 6th. Well, Sauber is a little bit further down the road right now, and I can see something scary coming up from behind. It's a Stroll. But yeah, we need to try and catch Russell. We need to try and catch Tsunoda here. That's going to be the name of the game. You can see that we are a full pit stop behind Hamilton. And for Sainz, the name of the game is literally just run. Stay ahead of the Ferrari that you can see behind you, because if you don't, you are going to get lapped. We have tire advantage on softs here. Even if they DRS off each other, we should be able to, you know, stay alive. Going to be the hope. Hopefully Stroll isn't going to be too much of a nuisance. But yeah. In terms of laps here, it's not good. There is Stroll, and then we have another problem up ahead. We are deploying the reserve banks here to avoid getting lapped with Sainz. Run. Run, you shitter. Run from Leclerc. He's coming for you. He is inevitable. Get out of the way, Stroll. You're causing me pain right now. Now I'm the one in trouble, as it turns out. Now Alonso's still fine for the moment. Sargent now also with a mechanical fault. The second Stroll gets lapped here, that is when we need to worry, basically. We might actually give end up giving the arrest to Leclerc. 12-9, yeah, that is basically it. Of course, we could try and run with them. They aren't slow by any means of the imagination, but yeah. The safety car is going to be what we need to turn this around. And for Sainz, that ship just sailed. Sainz is not going to get any sort of help out of a safety car, but what I can do is keep up with Red Bull, keep up with Ferrari, manage tires, get advantage towards the end. That is now your duty, Sainz. And if you take them out, that too would be really, really funny. But yeah, let's try and avoid that happening, shall we? I'm now sitting next to my router. Fleef has changed his position in the hopes of getting better internet. That's amazing. But yeah, 12 laps to go here. We're gaining on Russell. We're gaining on Tsunoda. But we're not gaining enough with just 12 laps to go. We need to gain a little more. However, we do have tie to go on, so we can go full send towards the end. It's not all bad here. And Sainz is still keeping within DRS of the two cars in front. And they're doing 13.5s. That's necessarily not good enough, actually, because it's just a couple of tenths quicker than the rest. But we are actually not quick enough to get the overtake done here. Let's go top up. Buffering has been solved. Hello, Mint. How you doing? Nice to see you drop by. Yeah, Felipe is experiencing some pain. We aren't having a good time either, because as I mentioned, for us to have any chance of taking the championship, we're going to need a 1-2. But we always have next year, I guess. Do we want a nice second season of this? I think the answer is going to be yes. So honestly, at this point, I think I might just consolidate and we start doing a little bit of research. I think that would be the name of the game if we want a second season. But that will be Silent F Future edition, I think. Hello, Mediator. Hello. I'm glad those guys have been helpful. Thank you for watching them. Who's the other guy in the Ferrari? It is Dennis Hauger. We stole signs. They promoted Dennis as a result. 8 laps to go. Surprised that no cars are exploding at the moment. 8 laps. Are we going to burn these tires down quick enough that it will be a problem if we go attack now? It's going to be basically on the limit. Do one more lap, 65, and then we go attack. Going to be on the limit, and the question is going to be, of course, with science, can I get past the Red Bull and the Ferrari? And I think the answer is, because of DRS training, no, it just isn't happening. If anything, I should... Oh, never mind. Leclerc is actually swearing right now. Let's see if we can get by. It is actually the window when we would start doing attack anyway, so Verstappen, there's a new speedster in town. Get out of the way. We should be able to unlap ourselves here, and then hopefully someone finds the wall. Never mind, Leclerc, of course. That's the problem with trying to unlap yourself if they're running a DRS train. You just can't. Alonso, though, is going a lot quicker, 2.5 seconds a lap quicker at the moment. But at least that one is positive. We're not going to catch Hamilton at this pace, though. But we are going to catch Russell and Tsunoda. And that is kind of what we're hoping for. Magnussen now with a mechanical fault. What's my team IRL? I am a boring flip-flopper who changes them very often, Marcelinho. But currently, I would love to see Tsunoda do well in the Red Bull. Honestly, because they finally gave him the opportunity. So, I want Tsunoda to do well in the Red Bull, for the time being at least. You know why I have no save files in my save game folder to use in the editor? Are you looking in your app data? Because F1 Manager does this stupid thing where they have one save folder in the game files, but that's not actually where your saves are stored. It's where the cloud saves are. Instead, you need to go app data on your computer. I have a video on my channel on how to find it. But yeah, it's a little bit annoying, to be fair. How's Lando out? I thought his gearbox would have exploded. Well, he is literally out. He's half a minute off. Well, not a half a minute. He's 10-second. No, he is half a minute of points. That is basically being out. As long as Alpine doesn't win, I'm happy. Wow. Aren't you scared of the Floof Brigade coming for you? At least Alonso is getting back into range of the two cars ahead. What we are going to do now, once we actually catch them, like we have now, is we're going to run conserve for a lap and a half. And try and just stay with them with the power of DRS. And try and build a little bit of a tire advantage before we go for an overtake. Although, Fernando says, screw that, I'm just getting the overtake done right now. But yeah, you get the idea. We're going to try and just build a little bit more of a tire offset. And then take it from there. As now Danny Rick's pass also are showing signs of wear and tear. I think everyone's rooting for Tsunoda to do well in Red Bull. Yeah. Like, Tsunoda has been in VCAR for so long and they just never gave him an opportunity. And now that Lawson literally got his, you know, entire mentality destroyed, they finally decided to give him a go. 3 laps to go. Once we cross the line, it's time to go attack again. And are we actually losing out a little bit right now? We are, but we're not losing out to Stroll, so I think we're just going to leave Sainz as is and still pray for that safety car. As Alonso is struggling to get by, and ailing Russell. Deploy. It's going to be the medicine to hopefully fix that. There we go. Finally. Now, if we can break free from Tsunoda, that would be huge. So we'll just see what we can do with just DRS down the main straight. Then we'll make a decision from there on how we want to approach the rest of this race. And honestly, I think we've already created a gap. We kind of shuffled Tsunoda off the track a little bit there. I'll save the energy just to be on the safe side. This is not the final lap for us. This is the second final lap for us. We still need 2 more. But basically, we need to get to the finish line, and then it's the final lap. There's almost 2 full laps at this stage. But we have broken the DRS. Sainz is just chilling and actually being a nuisance to Verstappen at the moment. I love this. Are you not lap? You are lap versus Verstappen. Why are you not? Why did you show like chair so much? Sainz here is sending a message clearly. I love how we're not allowing Verstappen to go while running full conserve on soft tires. But when we were full attack, we allowed Leclerc to go. It makes no sense. But yeah, 5th and 8th here seems to be our finishing position this first time around. Like to well, but it seems Red Bull just doesn't. Yeah. I think Red Bull is getting panicky though, because Verstappen is going to leave them in 26, I think, if they can't give him a competitive car. Straight up. But yeah, the race is over now. If anyone want to poke the floof and tell him that he can jump ahead.
Now, wasn't that a serious?
Who would I prefer, Lando or Piastri? I would honestly prefer Piastri, but I want to see Lando give it his all this year, because this might be the one year he has a chance of getting that title. So hopefully he can keep his mentality up. Hopefully he can perform well this year. I would love to see it. But I'm genuinely going to say that I like Piastri better than I do Lando. I do have to admit that. You keep being demoted to Red Bull was brutal. That's hilarious. What position am I in the championship? Currently, after Zandvoort, we are 6th and 7th in the drivers, with actually identical points for our 2 boys. In the constructors, we are 4th, just 50 points behind Ferrari, because Ferrari only has 1 driver, Leclerc. But yeah, honestly, we're not doing too shabbily. It's just Red Bull and McLaren have 2 strong driver pairings, 2 strong cars. And that makes things a little bit difficult here. I'm not gonna lie. Hello, Mind. Small question. What is your question? How do I get the Andretti mod installed to F1 Manager? So most mods for F1 Manager is just pull the files into the correct folder. So if you go to the Andretti mod and you just read things carefully and follow directions, then you should be able to find the folder to drop things in. It's generally the pack folder. And I believe that is the same for F1 Manager. So just find the F1 Manager install location, go to content, go to packs, then you just drop the files there, if I'm not mistaken. No, I need to finish the race myself first, and then I'll jump to live. Okay. I guess we misunderstood Floof then, because I thought he would just jump to live when the race was over on our end. Yeah, the chassis is complete here. I'm worried how much our car is going to be damaged. The rear wing, that's not bad, but we have a lot of parts of medium and high risk at the moment. Now, what I think we are going to do, as I mentioned, is we are just going to stop designing from this point forwards, and we are going to start doing a little bit of that good old research. In terms of regulation change, because let's face it, we are not, with 9 races to go, we are not closing down a good 280 points to McLaren. That's not happening. Driver Championship, we are not catching Norris. It just is not happening. Like, Alonso has won a couple of races, yes. Sainz has been on the podium a lot, but this car and the tracks remaining just aren't going to be a good mix. So we are going to go ahead and start preparing for the second season. In the website, it just says to put in the pack folder, but it's supposed to create a new team and ready, but it doesn't. Does it come with a save file, maybe? Because it could be that you need to just delete some other pack files if you're trying to change a team's basically identity and replace it with Andretti's. I haven't messed with that myself, so I don't actually fully know mine, unfortunately. But yeah, let us get started with some research here. We're going to get started on the chassis, cooling and airflow. Honestly, the cooling is not a big deal. I'm still going to focus on what we kind of want out of it. Cornering and top speed. That is A-okay. Next up, I do need to start manufacturing some parts. In this case, we need the new chassis done. Get 2 of them started. They're going to be done by the time we go to... I would love to get them done by the time we go to Baku, but let's say that isn't viable. It's 275 to do it, so we'll just do it normally. And one driver will have it in Baku. And we'll have to wait for the suspension a little bit longer too. But the month's about to take over. We'll get some more money after we go into Italy. So it's not actually a huge deal. How I'm doing research. Basically, I just still focus on what the parts are good at. In terms of regulation change for this season, I don't think they're that bad. So let's just take a look at it here with the board. We're losing engine cooling and we're losing airflow. So basically, every team is going to be losing dirty air. Every team is going to be losing some cornering. Tire preservation is also on the menu, so I do need to get that going under suspension. But generally, this is a pretty good regulation change for us because we can deal with it. And the AI sucks at it. So honestly, puts us in a very, very good position to get this pit lane challenge done next year, potentially. Usually we'll replace Kick, but this mod creates a new team. Okay. I haven't messed around with any mods like that in mine, so unfortunately I can't help you. Apologies. Okay, Monza, another track that is going to be absolutely painful and brutal to try and get overtakes done on. But at least we'll get the payouts because we should finish in the top 10 still. I hope.
Here we go.
I have hopes and expectations for this one, lads. Just tune in. What is the challenge about? Basically, every race we start from the pit lane, Ghost. Every single race we start in the pit lane, and then we see how well we can do with playing Sauber, Season 1, and so far, we're doing pretty well, running 4th in the Constructors. Thank you, Mind, appreciate it. Yeah, we are gonna start, as I mentioned, switching components. This is something you can do if you want to try and save component wear. Keep in mind, doing this does have a bit of an effect on your engineers. It causes fatigue to switch components like this, so if you do this, you are going to put your engineers in a position where the fatigue level will be higher than what you're seeing on the calendar. So do keep that in mind. But it's a very, very easy way to get a little bit of extra performance out of your car. I'm finally back to live. So Flip, is it your internet or is it your router being shit? With the buffering, because that happened last time too. Okay, that ERS is broken, which means I need to save more money for an ERS. Money that I don't really have, so... Yeah, last couple of races of the season are going to be a little bit yikes. Also, you probably know this, but try putting high risk on overtakes. Kind of piss off, not gonna lie. Sometimes trying to overtaking stuff, you do lose some time though. Basically, if you have high confidence or, you know, peak confidence mind, putting your driver to high risk is very, very good. I've been doing it for a while, just going immediately to high risk overtakes because I don't really see any increase in crashes. So it's a really, really good tip. Appreciate you sharing it. Already been doing it for a while, and I will continue doing it in the future. Is my internet? When I move closer to my router, suddenly everything is fine. Okay. How do you add other teams to F1 Manager like Audio and Ready? Generally through modding Mint. But I haven't messed around with those mods, so I can't really help you with it. Okay, we're good on everything, which means I need to switch everything up a little bit so we can figure out what is bad and what is good. If everything is good, nothing is. And since we are going to do one lap of quality this time around, that should make it a little bit easier to figure out what is right and what is wrong. Okay, I think Alonso has as good a setup as he's going to get. Let's go qualifying. We're just going to do basically a very chill lap here with inters because it's not going to rain. I want all my softs saved, particularly since I've already screwed over Alonso by giving him that bad ERS. So we are doing an inters pole. Actually, I'm curious, how quickly are these inters going to disintegrate on just completely dry, on a completely dry track? Are we going to get a puncture by the end of this? What is actually a lap time difference? 4.7 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds basically to pole. Doing into this instead. But with this now, I should be knowing the setup limit here. That will be good for the race itself. Have I done all the exclusive scenarios and race replays? No. I enjoyed this way more than I do the scenarios and replays. I have to be honest, Ghost. Hello, Mouser. How you doing? Did your internet die again, Floof? Is that what I'm hearing? You don't seem too happy. Do I play F124? I played it for a little bit when it came out last year, but not lately. I'm probably going to try this year's game. See what's changed with the new Mighty mode, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm probably going to give it a go. Why am I on inters? Because we're starting from the pit lane anyways. Mind. Oh, did I see a Tsunoda up there? In Q1 at least? But yeah, Red Bull 1-2, then we have the Okay, maybe Red Bull's on the backing up here. But yeah, we're doing the pit lane challenge, so it doesn't actually matter where we finish in quali. And I just wanted a run to verify the setup, basically. We just want a run to see how good or bad the setup is, so I can tweak it to a better one before the race begins. And since I didn't want to waste a soft tire, we did it on the Inters instead. That is literally it. And it worked out great. Can't really complain. Okay, let's see here. If I nudge you a little bit to the right, then to oh. I don't necessarily think this is going to be better, but let's try it. It's a slight change. But yeah, we go to the pit lane anyway, so yeah, there's no point using a good tire. I did complete a random season calendar, and drivers can randomize the calendar. Huh? Can I randomize the calendar completely the second season? Yes. You can randomize the calendar at the end of every season, James. Sorry. I got a little bit confused there for a second. Now, generally, Monster is a one-stop for every strategy. Let's be honest, it's Monster. There's generally no point in stopping again. But we are going to do what scientists say can't be done. And I'm wondering if I want to be a little bit ballsy here. Try something a little bit different. This is still going to be quicker, just purely based on pace. But again, it's Monster, it is a DRS train. We saw in Zandvoort just how terrible it was to sit behind everyone. So with that in mind, I do want to try something like this. And then we can go, you know, for either a soft or something else after the hard stint. The hard is not going to degrade as much as expected, so we might do this for Science 2. We'll have to see what we decide on the once we are done with the first stint. That's going to be the big decider, if you will. Yeah, pit lane start for both cars. Let us jump into it and see what we can do.
Well then, it's not long until we get started here, and we should be.
I'm copying the Alpine Saber wheels and copying all upgrades. That's fine. Hope it's fun for you, James. I'm glad you found that one helpful, to be honest. That's a good start for Piastri and a bad one for Verstappen. Is Piastri gonna catch Norris here by the end of this? 3 wide in that corner is not really a good look. And Norris does come out ahead as a result. We are the only cars on soft tires. Show is the only car on hard tire, the rest are on mediums. This is gonna get fairly interesting. I started as Williams in 2025. Currently second in Constructors, leading the championship with Sainz. Albon is struggling. I can see that happening, yeah. I used the F1 database editor to edit all the drive contracts and all the contracts within 2025 season, except Max and Alonso. I can imagine the transfers are wild, yeah, because... Oh, Norris with fault already. Guess he is cursed here. As of now, but yeah. I can imagine that, because the AI prioritized getting a new driver rather than replacing rather than keeping who they have, which is a little bit confusing. And why you get things like Russell to Sauber, a good driver to a bad team, a bad driver to a good team, that sort of thing. So we'll see what happens. What are the Alpine drivers? Oh, I assume you mean in the reroll there, but yeah, the Alpine's in 11 and 12 for this one, Floof. Currently, though, we need to chase them down. I am just going to give myself a can of cola. My mouth diarrhea. I'm speaking too much. Throat is getting a little bit dry. Colapinto and Gasly. Damn, that is Floof's dream lineup right there. Good overtake from Alonso. Is Dirty Air having a big impact, or is it okay to be 90 or 28? Dirty Air is probably one of the least impactful stats for your car. And again, the way that I look at Dirty Air is pretty straightforward. Dirty Air is the ability to follow another car closely. Do I want to invest in, say, cornering ability, top speed, so that I can follow, be quick around the track, or do I want to invest in Dirty Air tolerance so that I can follow the car in 15 closer, basically? Dirty Air is a luxury. I wouldn't invest in it unless you basically are first in everything else, to put it that way, because it isn't super impactful. It does have its time when it shines, like in the rain, but considering that you have 3-4 rainy races a season, it's not really worth it to build a car for the rain. You want to just build a car that is fast most of the time anyways. But yeah, generally there is perfectly fine to just completely disregard Dirty Air tolerance. As you can tell, I'm openly biased. No one can say you're biased, Loof. I've never heard such slander. As Gasly's about to get overtaken. Frankly, struggling. 81 rated. Could be control. Could be just low mentality. Could be a lot of things. Generally, the AI doesn't refurnish buildings. So the longer you go into each season, the worse the AI's mentality becomes. If you use the database mind, try and make sure that you toggle the setting to force the AI to refurbish the buildings.
And tires are ready.
And that will make them a little bit more competitive. There we go. We're up to 14-15. We have a yellow flag. At least it's not Gasly this time, but there is a spin.
Currently yellows.
Copy that.
Who is this Spinala? Danny Rick?
Okay. Alrighty.
At least it wasn't Gasly or Ocon this time around. We're going to be very happy with that. But yeah, right now we are burning these tires. We're actually not even close to max temp. It's 120 degrees. And we are still losing a lot of time to the top car. So the gaps, again, 2 seconds here with Danny, 5 seconds with Hamilton. I'm happy with not using energy here because they're still getting the overtakes done. And just having that energy to use later could be very, very beneficial. So we will stick with that. Currently doing a Sauber save to prove I could maybe had a fast car in the F2 season. Anyway, I put share for season 2, and also if I do, who should leave the team, Nico or Bortoletto? Nico is probably old enough, unfortunately, in that scenario, Lando, that he's going to start degrading. So, probably Hulkenberg. Yellow. Hamilton. Okay.
Let's take a look at the replay.
No floof paint this time around.
Now, we're with Lewis Hamilton here. Nothing
You can leave
wrong,
teams after a
so
season? Yeah, you can leave teams after
heavy on the brake.
a season, indeed. You can change teams as often as you want. Right now, though, the softs here are doing a good job. Like, the softs aren't even degrading as quickly as they should. But you can already see what we saw last time around. Like, the gaps forming out front is just insane. The chair! What have you done? Safety car. Okay, this is actually kind of huge for us. I'm not gonna lie, this is huge for us. It's 43 laps remaining. Everyone has used their mediums. I will take this. Unfortunately, we just also ran past the pit, so we're going to be part of pit L. But we need to pit here. There's just no way around it. There's literally no benefit to not pitting, so... Alonso has 2 hard tires. Do I want to do the funny thing and do 2 hards? Maybe.
Okay, now safety car deployed.
But yeah.
And recharge on.
Charles is out straight up. Okay, what did he do?
Let's have some straight line braking, please.
He's just retired. Okay. He had enough. He went back to the pit lane. He got told once again. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for the Ferrari golden wisdom right there. On the same level of water is wet. Did he literally just pick up underfloor damage? Like, there is no visible damage to the car. Can't check his tires because he's out. But looking at the other tires there, it didn't actually bang wheels with anyone either. He might have just run over the curb, picked up damage straight up. I actually don't know what has happened here. Yeah, I think you're correct on that one, Floof. They got shoved off twice, 2 times underfloor damage, and he's just out. At least the game is 100% realistic when it comes to simulating Ferrari. I'm wondering though, are these guys going to pit? They are, okay. We are just going to have to join this pit, you know, train. All we can do is cross our fingers that we come out and not dead last. We're also going to hold off our teammate here a little bit. You can see here we're just waiting for other cars to go through. And yeah, we're going to get shuffled all the way back to the back here again.
That? A pit stop issue.
Like, it's so stupid the way that the pit stops work. Because there are gaps where the car can go out, but they just won't release you. And honestly, I might have been better off just going for another set of softs. Because now we need to make our way through that train again. Now Nero knows how me and Pocanaldo felt that one time? Yeah. The thing is, though, it used to be even worse than this. So, yeah. Imagine that. But it's the fact that they need like 4 car lengths before they release the car in front.
Maximum focus from now on. Copy.
And that is a bit of a problem. Everyone is on hard tires too, so we don't really have any sort of benefit or advantage here. Piastri now with a mechanical fault. Albon with a mechanical fault. We could see more changes here, to be fair. So honestly, it's not all terrible. But the question that I have to ask myself now is the AI going to go till the end on this? Because I think the AI could try and go till the end on these hards. And if they are, we can still make something happen here. Yeah, at this point, it's time to start using some energy, get some moves made. That is very unfortunate for us. Ocon in the points, says Floof. In my first season, I picked Ferrari, I led everything, and then I ended up severely bankrupt. Not just bankrupt, but severely bankrupt. Norris with a mechanical fault here. Everyone is falling apart at the moment. But yeah, for now, there isn't really much I can do. I put them to overtake. They're going to try and get the things done here. And that's literally the best that I can hope for. They just need to get these things sorted on their own. Well, there is a way to, you know, min-max this. Monza isn't a place where we are supposed to do well anyway, so might as well just let them try the best they can. And everyone else is actually going full attack on these hards as well, as it turns out. So everyone is going for another pit stop. Do I want to try with Alonso then to pit him early and go for another hard tire? I don't know. I actually don't know what would be the correct choice in this situation. It's just such a weird one. And Show with mechanical fault, Norris with mechanical fault, Piastri also has a major mechanical fault. We could very easily here see another period of another safety car. Show already lost 4 seconds of cars ahead. Sargent has damage. Please, sir, let me by. Push, Sainz, push. Floof is very happy about Ocon intent here. We all know what happens when Floof becomes happy. They bin it. They full on spinala it. Okay, break free from show, catch up those 5 seconds, and then we can take it from there. Please, Sainz. Good job, lad. What is happening with Alonso here? Just getting shuffled off this mortal coil. At least we didn't pick up damage, but that is very frustrating, all things considered. 4 positions lost right there. Not a good race right now. You will not commentate this curse me this time. I can still make it happen, Floof. They leave me no space, indeed. Are they still pushing? Yeah, everyone is still pushing. Stroll is the only one that is trying to play the long game here. Honestly, if we could have tried the long game here too, just stay on conserve. The problem would have been show, just losing a lot of time up front. But yeah, right now, not really much I can do. Hey, Alonso, what can we do with your strategy? Can you do a hard? You have another fresh hard, even if your strategy says you don't. It is viable. Just do this, honestly. Because, yeah. Why are you lying to me, game? That's a fresh one. We'll have to see. Alonso's in a good position in just turn some tires. We have to do a medium for Sainz. Make the decision once we get a little bit further down the road in this one. Nero also loves Alpine. Trust me, bro. I still love that Gasly got a 5-second penalty last race for basically getting assaulted by Danny Rick. Can you tell if Luke is clearly a massive supporter of whoever Nero is controlling? Definitely wants him to win each race. I've never heard anyone speak such bullshit before, Lando. Speak it so fluently and so confidently as well. It's actually impressive. Oh, we have another safety car. Safety car. Sergeant, what have you done? Underfloor damage. At least this time, since we are going into the pits last, we can't, you know, explode. And we're gonna do the funny thing here. We're gonna go soft tire and then full attack. And try and undercut again.
Safety car. Sergeant. Safety car, stay positive.
At least Sergeant 2 decided that he had had enough of this.
Working on brakes.
What words of wisdom does Williams have for us?
Man, this is so...
Okay, that one was actually kind of good. What did you forget to tell Mind? Oh! Oh! Okay. This suddenly became spicy with so many cars staying out. Top 10 staying out on all the hards here. Sainz gaining positions in the pits. I think Alonso gained 1.
Right in the pits.
Haas having pit trouble. Where have we seen this one before? The mediums can go till the end here, that's the thing. But if Sainz get by Piastri, who has damage... Okay, Sainz suddenly found himself in a very interesting position, I'm not gonna lie. Firing Sergeant and Stroll with the DB editor. Danny Rick also has damage, so he could also be a safety car in the future. Okay. The hard runners can go till the end, but they're going to be absolutely shafted on tires, which is fine. Looking forward to it. I need to clear Piastri with Sainz immediately. Need to try and clear cars as quickly as possible with Alonso. And then lap 35, we are pitting. And then we're going till the end or whatever we have available. Love that Edster immediately wakes up the second he heard Haas has a pit stop issue.
Okay, safety car in this lap. Okay, remember the rules of engagements again.
Copy.
What rules of engagement? Just overtake them. Crash into them if you have to. No mercy this time around. Stroll, I was about to say, Stroll might find himself in a good position, then he immediately actually picked up a mechanical failure. The second I focused on Stroll and was about to say something positive, mechanical failure. It's not actually a joke at this point. It's actually insane with the with what's going on here. The amount of power I have to jinx. Oh, Piastri, you got smoked, son. Sainz right now is just going to fly through the entire grid order here. Ocon next. 3 cars so far, this lap alone. And we make it a stroller as well. Piastri's fault has escalated again, which means he's picked up a secondary fault. Just like the Hobbits. One fault isn't enough for him, he wants a secondary one, and it's the engine. ERS and engine failures are not a good position to be in, not gonna lie. But yeah, we are just gonna basically burn these tires now as much as possible. And then try and get some undercutting going. Stroll right now is a bit of a nuisance, but Sainz gets him expedited just like that. Alonso has picked up damage.
Let me know. Check, Alan.
Underfloor damage.
Stand by.
I don't have a lot of spare underfloors. I don't like that.
Here's the replay. Let's have a look
Did
at
the
action.
Alpine do something mean?
Can they squeeze by?
No, that is purely on Alonso. Can't even blame Gasly there, really. Alonso not having a good one this time around. After rules of engagement. Oh, that is funny. Yeah, Sainz is moving forwards right now. And Perez, like 50% with 20 laps to go. These guys need to pit again. They need to pit again. They've used their mediums. They're going to go to a very, very broken soft by the end of this, I think. And that would be hilarious. That would be amazing as we go around the outside of Hamilton. We're stopping up next. And it's not even a contest. Goes off track to try and protect his position. Hauger now with some damage too. The minefield has been set. Who's going to be the next safety car? We just need to try and go along here because safety car is basically guaranteed at this point. Honestly, I wish I was joking, but with Albon now also having a massive failure, I think we're getting another safety car sooner rather than later. So I say I'm going to deploy because I would like to catch up to Russell, Tsunoda, and the top 3 here. If possible. And using a little bit of energy to get that done. It's not a bad idea. I forgot also Norris does also have a major fault. As Gasly snatched his fastest lap at the moment. The only thing I hate about F1 Manager is that Vettel is not part of the driver market. Well, to be fair, it would be fun if there were more retired drivers who just have as staff members even. I would like that. Yeah, Alonso is getting held up. There's just no way around it. Sainz, on the other hand, is doing amazing. About to get an RB. Then we only have Norris left, and I am tempted to deploy once we get by Norris and try and create a gap. We won't have a lot of tire. Basically, as you see it, the rest of them also are getting to that point where they need to pit. But if we can pit to a medium and they do not have an extra medium, that should be advantage us. Because they'll have to go 20 laps on a soft tire around here, which, let's face it, is doable. But I think the medium is going to be better for long term. Please don't get the overtake done before the DRS zone. We should just slide by here in theory, and I'm just going to use the energy that we get now from harvesting that corner to create a 1 second gap. Please, please, Science, this is your moment. You better own it. When we pit, we are going to come out lost. No way around that. It is just going to be the way things are. We overtake Ocon with that other driver. And now Gasly. Fare thee well, Alpines, fare thee well. Although Gasly's probably going to come back at us. Gasly's car going out like a star, giving him at Zandvoort, and straight up dying in the next one. That's how it goes, yeah. Tsunoda, top 3, you're not wrong. That's huge. Get out of here, McLaren. Alpine are the real best team. Well, right now, Sainz is kind of losing a little bit of steam. And if we go for a medium tire and just run a standard, that's going to be more than enough. I think running a light would just be better. Soft tires can also survive till the end here on standard and light, which means that the rest are going to start to consider pitting very, very soon. But in terms of race time, they are virtually equal. So we are actually going to get Sainz out on a light medium tire right now. And that is going to be, hopefully, enough to win here. Although, Piastri is in a really, really good position. Like, he has damage. That is a problem. But he has 70%, 72% tires. He's going to be trying to make it till the end on those. No way around it. 19 laps is a lot. But I think he can make that work. Everyone else, they will need to pit. And Hamilton has gone to that soft tire, which is honestly is all they have to use. And if we manage our tires better, we should beat them by the end. So, besides there, getting in the pits before everyone else, taking advantage of their soft tires to stay within DRS or managing, taking care of our own, it's going to be the play here. As Norris actually jumps in the pits with us. That's not perfect. I think Norris is going to undercut us in the pit lane here because we just wait too long to send the car out. Just the nature of things, really. But yeah, we will probably try and stay with him if we can. Just a little bit of deploy here, but as we saw, if they run them standard, they will not survive until the end on those tires. And with Norris having damage, even if he runs away from us here, it's not actually a big problem. Time to get Alonso in, and the question with Alonso is straight up, do I want to go for a full attack hard tire? Because he does have another one, and he can go till the end on that one. Or would it be better to go with an aggressive medium, even a light medium? I think I just want to go full attack hard, because degradation is so low on these hard tires that he'll be fine. The only thing that could screw me over right now is we get a safety car immediately after pitting, which would not be a surprise, mind you. I can't wait to celebrate Alpine points. Let's see how that goes. Hulkenberg comes in. I don't think we're going to be lost there. The question is just, can we catch Piastri and can we catch Albon? Albon should be easy. Piastri is 16 seconds off the road for Sainz. Going to be a little bit more for Alonso. But with fresh air now and just a full send on the tires, should be a little bit easier. Going to run balanced here. Someone please remind me of the fuel so we don't run out by the end. If we do, I'm blaming Floof. So, if you want to curse Floof, go ahead. But we'll have to see how Sainz is going to do with catching everyone, as Perez and Gasly now just both come into the pits. We overtake them with ease through the pit lane right there. Hamilton with fastest lap. But yeah, 3 cars with damage now up ahead of us. 4 actually if you count Hauger as well. And in the current top 10, 6 cars have damage of some sort. So this should be Pretty simple job of just getting these overtakes done. Let's be honest. It should not be a challenge at all. Understandable to blame him. Oh, Albon exploded. Bye, Albono. Albono retires in the pit lane. Show gets some puffs on that smoke. But yeah, Albono's car did in fact explode just then and there, allowing us to cleanly get by. Don't make me responsible for your ineptitude. Don't you know that is how you delegate? You make others responsible for your mistakes. That's the entire point of it. Alga here could be a little bit of a problem because, let's face it, Sainz doesn't have a lot of battery, and that is going to slow us down. But 13 seconds up to Piastri here should be doable. We're running 125s. Lando there with 121.8. Is he pushing full attack at the moment? He might be. The thing is, though, even if Lando pushes, it doesn't matter because he can go full speed and then he'll get stuck behind Russell and Danny Rick in this case. They're going for punctures at the moment. Of course, we're going to also lose some time, but we're going to gain time again. And he's just burning his tires being that close to them. I think we'll catch Norris by the end of this with again, relative ease, which is why I'm not too worried. The main problem is actually going to be getting Alonso past the cars ahead. Because Perez has pitted. Hamilton has pitted. We'll have to see how we're going to do this. And if we can stay here within DRS distance of Norris, I'm going to be very, very happy. Alonso now behind Perez. Done with the Alpines. Done and dusted. 24% for Tsunoda and Danny Rick here. We've reached a point where the AI is being too stubborn and it's going to pick up punctures. Almost guaranteed. Hello, Cosby. Mun? What is Mun, mind? Remind Nero about his fuel, otherwise I'm taking the blame. For now, I think we'll be fine. The fuel should be equalized before the end of this. Basically. But yeah, what is Mud Mind? And how are you doing, Cosby? Go, Alonso. Full attack. Fly by. Nicely done. 17 seconds off the lead. Can we catch them? I think maybe. Maybe. Might be able to. Right now, though, Sainz have met the kind of same problem that Norris have had. Norris has apparently vanished up the road while this was going on. I'm just going to harvest till we get by, and then we can go full attack. Norris is actually managing those softs pretty well right now. That could be a problem. That could be an issue. But at this point here with Sainz, odds are we can go full attack. 1 or 2 more laps and then we can start going just full charge all the way. Sauber now also with a little bit of mechanical failings. Okay, so we just shoved Perez to the Shadow Realm and gave him some underfloor damage. Why are you stuck in behind Russell there, allowing Perez to just go? That's unfair. Verstappen, puncture territory. We already have one in Ocon. Lovely. Alpine with the first puncture of the day. As God intended. Has to be said just to annoy Floof. I'm going to have to be honest here. Now, Verstappen and Tsunoda both are kind of setting themselves up for punctures here. There's just no way around that one. I just want Alonso to get by before that happens if possible. That would be good. There we go. One out of the way. Tsunoda with a puncture. Piastri now has 2 major mechanical faults on that car. I don't know what to say about that, to be fair. Yeah, Verstappen, Russell, Tsunoda. All of them with punctures here, falling outside of the points. Stroll is going to get a puncture. It's 10 laps remaining. He's basically just there to annoy Piastri at this point. And let's face it, he's doing a good job at it. If he can annoy Norris too, that would be, you know, a peak. So let's start pushing here with Sainz. With Alonso, we are already pushing, and he can push till the end. Norris also has... did Norris pick up another mechanical fault there, or did his car explode? Judging by the fact that he's losing time to Stroll and Piastri, I'd have to say his car probably is on the verge of exploding. Like, look at the Three Musketeers here. Just chilling. We'll have to check once we get to the final lineup. Yeah, Norris has exploded. Norris's car has gone bye-bye. That is an interesting way to park your car, needs to be said. Very, very interesting way to park your car. I've not seen that one before. I've not seen that method of parking your vehicle in your garage before. And we have more mechanical failures now for Hamilton. Right now, the game is just handing out a mechanical failure to anyone who looks at it funny. Anymore says Lando. Stroll's in the lead. Stroll might get a podium here, but nah, Stroll's gonna puncture too. Look at this. Hulkenberg now with a mechanical failing. We have a safety car as Hauge has parked on the track.
Safety car. Child button on.
I think we need to pit Alonso.
And focus on your tire stems.
And signs. What are the gaps right now? Where would we end up if we do pit? 22 seconds is what we're expected to lose. We would end up by Hulkenberg. How many laps remain? And why is Gasly going to benefit from this? This is an illegal game. Gasly should never be allowed to benefit from such a thing. I think we need to double stack. There's 7 laps remaining. For Alonso, he's going to get shuffled potentially down to, well, Hauge here. Ahead of Russell. I think everyone on all the soft state are going to pit anyways. So, unless we have a problem, we should be okay. We have fresh softs. A lot of them do not. This state keeps getting better and better, but at this point, I would genuinely not want that safety car.
And box car on box.
Keep signs out. I think we can. The thing is, the reason why I'm going to pit Sainz here is very simply because it's 7 laps remaining. I don't imagine safety car will be 7 laps. And let's face it, Stroll's going to pit. He just doesn't have a choice. Piastri, Hamilton, Perez are all going to be sitting ducks. We're going to be able to get fuel. We're going to be able to get energy. So I think no matter what happens here, Sainz will be able to get these places back with relative ease. Alonso is the other one that is a bit of a bigger gamble. But I think we are going to see everyone here go into the pits anyway. So I don't think it is as bad of a gamble as you might think. And with everyone having damage, we might see someone explode behind the safety car. So is it a risk? Yes, but it's a risk that we have to take in this scenario, I think. Gasly could still explode, Floof. Don't be too happy. I do have decent tires, but still, it's a little bit risky to run this against fresh softs, basically. Stroll comes in. Piastri stays out. Perez stays out. Which honestly is okay. Clean stoop. I need a clean stoop from you two. Good. Are you going to beat Hulkenberg to the line? You are not. That's a little bit unfortunate. But not completely terrible, because I can see it 50%, 60%. Hopefully we get more than 3 laps. If we do, then we are laughing. Watch the safety car be 7 laps. It would not surprise me, but it shouldn't. What are you asking me, Danny? Sorry, David. Haha, safety car ending. I'm fine. We're safe. We're good.
Focus on the restart.
Sainz is gonna eat these 3 for breakfast. Or crash and, you know, make me sad. Hulkenberg's failure has been repaired. That is not what we needed right now. Can Gasly get a good result there, or is he going to get strolled on? Going to be 4 laps. 4 opportunities. I think if I just deploy with Sainz there... What are you doing, Sainz? Why are you letting them do this to you? You fool of a took. Okay, this is actually tragic right now. Holy shit. I've been floofed. How do you even let that happen? Can Sainz still get something done here? Yes, but this is still gonna suck. How is Russell quick? Okay, Russell is actually on fresh each tire, so it makes sense from that perspective. They are on full overtake aggression, by the way, and they're just not using it. That's the funniest part here. We could see Stroll winning. We could see a Stroll win with a destroyed Aston Martin, which honestly, 07, I would take that sacrifice to allow Stroll get a win. It would be insane. But I will not allow a Gasly podium. That will not happen. Stroll has 3 seconds on Hamilton right now.
No the ice. No the ice, right?
3 seconds on Hamilton with 2 laps to go. Sainz is making his way back up here, but we might see a Stroll win with maybe us on the podium. What is this black Stroll magic, to put it like that? Alonso and Sainz, I need you to do everything you can here. 5 seconds now. Hamilton playing wingman to Stroll was not on my bingo card for this race. And to be fair, Sainz losing 10 positions on a restart wasn't either. But you get the idea. Okay. Final lap here. The Stroll is strolling to a potential victory. And I don't know what to think about that, honestly.
Perez in front.
I don't know what to think about that.
It's your final lap.
I'm gonna have Sainz just deploy. I'm gonna have Alonso just deploy. We're not catching Stroll. Stroll is winning Monza. Somehow. Should have kept Sainz out, man, I'm telling you. To be fair, Sainz bowled the restart so hard that he would have done the same if I kept him out. That's the sad part. Gets absolutely stuffed now. Still very likely to finish 1-2 air floof, 2-3 air floof, and I would be happy with that. I can see the frustration from having an incident, but finishing 2nd and 3rd is still good with neither McLaren in the points. Stroll getting a win is just the icing on the cake, really. Alonso comes 2nd, Sainz comes 3rd.
Okay,
If there hadn't been an incident, we would have done a lot better. But
42. Well done, everyone.
Sainz just can't restart, apparently.
Well done.
Gasly falls down to 9th. Take that one, Floof.
plenty of pickup on the win.
Now, didn't Fernando Alonso look really great?
Floof was very happy when Gasly was looking to get 4th, 5th, but by the end of it, he's down to 9th. Get stuffed, he says. Oh, that's beautiful. Also, Saints swap, literally, yeah. It's a bit unfortunate as mentioned, but it's still a good result for us. We'll take that here. I can't complain too much. It was a fun race, even if Sainz bowled a restart. Probably the most bowled restart I've ever seen in this game. Well, maybe I shouldn't have fire-strolled after all, yeah. I was expecting an easy one too. Until all the way until Sainz sent it into Narnia and got double overtaken on the restart. But yeah, we're still 6 and 7 constructors then. We do catch up to Ferrari quite a lot. By the end of this, we could see ourselves finishing 3rd, which would be good. But yeah, Stroll takes a win. And that's actually pretty good. I am Canadian and it hurts my eyes to see Stroll win. Even Canadians are just like, no, you've created something unnatural and scary. Please stop. What you've done here is unnatural. It should never have happened. I'm actually going to put in some tire preservation here on the front wing because I kind of want to with the research. And this way we can just ignore it next season. So this should be good enough for it. We get some airflow front, low speed cornering. We could also just do this, honestly. But it would be better to just invest in it, all things considered. There we go. Let's get that research project up and running. Financially, we are not in a good place. And with the damage to the underfloor, kind of puts me in an even worse place. Components are still running very, very low here. Let's just manufacture one extra underfloor because it looks like it's about to explode. Am I doing underfloor development right now? I am. 10 days. We should survive Baku, so I can start a new underfloor once this project is done, basically. And we'll start another research project once the side pods are done. Yeah. No development for our drivers, unfortunately. What season is it? The first one? Yes, it is the first season. This is a lesson. Don't mock the floof. Please don't get too happy. We know what happens when you get a little bit too cocky after one thing going your way. They're just gonna allow, you know, the Alpines to crash into each other in real life. Hope you think carefully in the future. What I'm thinking forwards to Floof is when we do the driver championship and we make you the terrorist, basically, with the perk build. I'm gonna be very happy watching that, so I think I'll be okay. Yeah, Baku, Singapore coming up here. Let us go ahead and get prepped. What I am seeing, however, is that we are probably gonna need to rush one underfloor. Very likely. Just have it for Singapore. That should still be fine. We aren't that far down the bin yet financially. Picker training here has been sorted. We are keeping the level that we have in terms of avoiding mistakes. We are getting a little bit of time down on the clock there. All in all, a good month for our pick crew. Manage your finances better, Nero, or else you end up like me with Ferrari. I think I'll be good. We have spare parts that I can use if things go really, really badly. So as of right now, I'm still not super worried. Not gonna lie. I think we'll still be okay. We'll do this. I need to get that tire preservation up more than anything else. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go full tire preservation on this suspension research. 1 million in the bank is, again, not really enough. I'm not gonna lie. But with the sponsor plan rolling around, it's no longer a problem. 4 million in the bank now. I would like to say that was planned, but we all know that it wasn't. But even then, it was planned. That is the official story, and you will believe it. I'd like to see you try and fail to manifest Alpine incidents. Did you not see the first race, Floof? Did you not see the first race where the Alpine were 5 for 5 initially? Have you tried out the real racing mode on Overtake? I have not, Reina, but it looks interesting. I might need to take a look at that one. Tire preservation is really, really powerful, yes. What's up, F1 team stake kick Sauber? More money for the top 4? Sure, I need the finances at this point. We need the finances at this point. Underfloor. Sign complete. And as mentioned, I need to manufacture one of these. And we should get that done for Singapore. I'm actually fine with just doing it normally. So, perfect timing. In terms of the research slot, I want to do side pods. You get that cooling back, you get the cornering back. And those are things that basically what we're going to be focusing on. We're losing so much of our airflow middle here that we need to put in a lot of work to get that back. Yeah, we are doing at least one more race today, maybe two, we shall see. But right now, Baku is upon us. The car isn't amazing by any means of imagination. It is a midfield car, but it is scoring podiums, so I can't complain as of this moment. I didn't see the first race live. Yeah, which means that I manifested those incidents, Floof, not you. Because you weren't there live, I was.
Greetings from Azerbaijan.
Sounds good, Cosby. See you later. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. I did. And I'll see you later. Probably just going to do this final race. Then I'm going to have to go myself. So just one more race today and then we'll continue some other time. But it's fun to be back doing this. And we'll try and do some more streams of, well, the pit lane challenge in the future. Hopefully not a month and a half until I do the next one. Okay, let us get through practice and see where we stack up in the Baku GP. Hello, Great Run. How you doing?
Welcome
There
to
will be
Wazbek.
no Alpine incidents for the rest of the stream. It's Baku, Floof. There's going to be 2 Alpine incidents, 2 DNFs in quali and in the race. I'm making it happen, and you cannot stop me. Okay, so this should be like this then. Let's try this. Honestly, I'm just gonna try this for the first run, and then we'll see if it's okay. Let us slap some inters on, and also switch out these components. Even though it doesn't matter because I'm starting pit lane anyways, but might as well just get them replaced before quality starts proper. There we go. Let us power through. Good to hear you're doing good. Honestly, appreciate you stopping by the stream. Quite racist with affiliate drivers? What? Viewer Championship is a championship where we have basically 20 drivers that are made based on certain rule sets in my Discord, and we let the AI race them against each other. So it's basically a lot of participating people. And this weekend's Drive Championship, we have 30 people participating, 20 drivers and 10 team principals. And, well, it should be fairly interesting. The information about it can be found on my Discord. It's kind of tough to explain, but basically, make a drive within the rule set, get it picked, and then the AI will be racing kind of like we're doing here. But instead of Leclerc, Hauge would be 2 others, and I would retire my cars to keep things competitive, if you will. Yeah. Are we stuck behind Hauge because we're on Inters? And Sainz, you buffoon. It was Alpine that was supposed to do this, not me. Yeah, people take part in it. People make the drivers. And then the AI race them. And then we have some salt. When people crash, that sort of thing. Guys, if you crash on the in-lap, I am sending you to Narnia. Because that would be your second mistake in 2 races. Cataract chop! Floof is having the time of his life right now. You can take part in it too, yeah, mind. Basically, I just announced on Discord when we are starting a new cycle, a new application process for drivers, and then people can just put it in. Generally, it's just first come, first serve. So anyone can take part in it, yeah. I'll ping everyone on Discord when it starts. So if you want to join in future, feel free to join Discord. take a look at it and make a decision if you want to maybe be part of it in the future. I'm gonna hate managing Baku because Monaco took me 6 tries just to complete it. Did you crash a lot? Or did Monaco go so far that it crashed your computer if you needed 6 tries to complete it? My invite is invalid? Really? I did not know that. Give me a second, I'll create a new one. Thought the invite link was forever. But if the Discord has changed it, maybe, then I need to update it. So just give me a sec, and I'll just update the link in the description. Hidden use copy, but I use copy button Discord. What do you mean? I love this Discord, like, because I currently am running Discord in streamer mode, so it doesn't make noise. It has, I click copy. What it does is it copies the text hidden use copy button. That is actually stupid. That is actually stupid on a new level, but yeah. I'm gonna post it in chat too if you want to join. Just give me a second. That is actually hilarious. Okay, there we should be. I see mine's already been indoctrinated by the Fluke squad. By the looks of it. The create team guide, it really helped because when I first played it, I was in debt. Like, my balance was 11 million. I can imagine the first season of create team is quite rough on the financials. F1 manager crashes when I create a new team. I think that sounds like corrupted files, maybe. Potentially. The funny thing is we got a 100% car set up with signs because he crashed. He immediately goes to the pit lane. Funnily enough, we could do this. We could try and be absolutely psychopaths and do a soft to a medium one-stopper. And if we do that, it could actually work really, really well. But I think we're just going to go full attack, soft, medium, soft. It is the easiest way to get this done. And if we see that we need to, we'll just run the final soft a little bit lighter. And it is going to be the quickest strategy around it, really, compared to anything else that we can do. You can already see it. So we're going to do this. And hopefully, we'll be able to get the undercuts that we want done. Then we'll take it from there. Maybe we'll pit a little bit earlier if need be too. But the basic idea is going to be the same, really. The question now that I need to ask all of you is, how many cars have fixed their problems? Because I think the answer to that is going to be none of them. So, yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting. For sure. Don't really want to deploy. I want to keep that neutral. Just muscle memory at this point. I think everything is sorted. Let's go to Baku.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway.
It's invalid again? That sounds weird.
A chance to see just what Charles Leclerc can achieve here.
I'll have to take a look at it later. It is basically just NeroBax supported lunch. Or lounge.
But just what will happen here, your guess.
How about this if I put in the link here?
Here we go with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
It works for me, the invite link, so could be straight up something that is broken, maybe. I have to see now. I might need to update all my other Discord links. That would be a little bit problematic. But yeah, we are up and running. We are ready to go here in Baku. And of course, the goal is going to just be to beat the Alpines. As long as that happens, we are very, very happy. High overtake aggression is going to be a must. Let's see what Alonso and Sainz can do. Trying to save people to buy time after swapping up a driver main or make past turn 1. To be fair, every team, well, Hamilton, lap 1 mechanical failure, let's go. It has begun again. Lovely. What tires everyone on? Mainly softs by the looks of it. Please don't send each other into the wall. That would be very disappointing if you did. It looks like you are okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see it also if... Give me a second. Because if the other link broke, I'm gonna be a little bit upset as spaghetti. No, both, I don't know what's going on, mind. I tested both links, and both of them still work for me. So... I don't know what the problem would be. Could just be Discord doing something stupid there for a second. Can you please make it past the Hulkenberg? Well, to be fair, we are still saving tire, and it is basically still everyone going full attack, so it is fine. Okay. Because both ways worked for me, at least. You like to think you can beat the Alpines, but actually you can't. Right now, I can't even make my way past the Haas, but it's honestly fine. I just need to undercut around this track. So we might actually go for like an early pit stop, lap 10 or so. And then just do a final light stint. Because that is very, very powerful and very, very efficient. Finally, we get past one car. First overtake that isn't one of our own vehicles. And we have a yellow flag as Sargent has eaten the wall.
Is a crash in turn 2. Careful for debris again.
Currently, I'm playing hard on the difficulty. He ate the wall. Let's go. Yeah, overtaking Baku outside the arrest zones is painful. I thought Sainz was about to commit a hate crime right there on show. Luckily, he didn't. Guess I'm the only one playing Lisi. To be fair, on tracks with high degradation, easy can be harder than hard. So, depending on the track, the hardest difficulty actually changes. So, but honestly, in any single player game, the way that I look at it, play whatever makes you have fun. Like, there's no point in upping the difficulty if you don't have fun doing it, and there's no reason to play anything that you don't find fun in the first place. So as long as it doesn't harm anyone else, what's the problem? Play the game just as you want. Why is this so confusing? Well, because we've gone through a few seasons and the rules have evolved quite a bit. But yeah, the current season has a couple of new features. I can see that being very confusing. Yeah, that's the thing, Grid. Just play the game the way you want. Like, that is the important part. Play it in a way that is fun for you. That is literally the most important thing. Okay, Sainz, you're actually doing well right now. Lovely. Next up, Mag. And then we go up against the arch nemesis. The Alpinos. Luckily, only Hamilton has picked up damage so far. At least that is good, but yeah, everyone is burning their tires. I just need to find the correct time to pit here, really. That is going to be the challenge. Finding the best time to go into the pit lane so I can actually undercut up to hopefully Paris. That is going to be the difficult part of deciding when to pit. Okay, time to send Gasly into the wall. Unfortunately, no Gasly into the wall. Gasly is still safe. Alpine, time to fall up, take defensive stations. The Gasly has already fallen floof. There was no defense to be had. Unfortunately. Auge and Ferrari is pretty random. It's basically because I kidnapped Sainz. I signed Sainz, they need replacement, they went for Auge. What's the first thing I should do to apply? Currently, we already have every slot filled mine, so it would be the next time that you would be able to participate. Right now, all the drivers, all the team principals have been signed. So it will be next time around. We're currently doing the current season this weekend. Ocon is the last line of defense and shall not be breached. Honestly, Floof, just because you said that. Science. Attack mode. We do one of these things every weekend, every other weekend, mind, so it will not be super long until we do the next one. Go on, Science. Attack mode. Bye-bye. We say farewell to the Alpine. Please don't come back and bite me in the ass by locking up and killing me in the corner. It would be a very Alpine thing to do. Ocon defend. Ocon about to fall. Just like Gasly. Yellow flag as Leclerc has done a Leclerc thing. Leclerc has done the I am stupid. And it looks like a... that's unfortunate. Leclerc sounds very happy. And I know he's Leclerc, but Leclerc is just funnier. Question is, do we take advantage and start trying to do some undercutting? 60% tire is still a lot left here, so I think we do it on 1 or 2 more laps. Leclerc should pit just to get the wing off, which is fine. He'll be stuck in traffic paradise, where he is going to have a lovely time. Yeah, for us, we're still basically already a pit stop behind, so... with what little clean air we have, I need to try and make the best out of it. And that's just the situation we find ourselves in. In terms of our next season begin, mind would be either since we'll be finishing this season this weekend, if everything goes to plan. So either the weekend after or in 2 weeks' time, basically. It's fine, Science and Alonso will crash. I don't think they will. But currently, though, we are losing so much time just trying to fight these guys. So, Sainz, it is time. You will pit this lap. Alonso, it is time. You will pit on the following lap. We are going in early here. Try and get some undercutting done. Please don't run side by side through those corners. It's very easy to be put in the wall. You lunatics. You know what? If you crash, you crash. I will allow it. We shall see how this goes. Okay, time to pit. Some good DRS there for Alonso. We love to see it. Enough that we get into the DRS of Stroll and Danny Rick. Beautiful. Now, Sainz is going to come out pretty far towards the back here. It's just the nature of, you know, stopping. Honestly, that's not great. Gasly here is going to be... We're not really doing the undercut we were hoping for. I'm going to need to deploy with Alonso. Leclerc has pitted to a hard tire. All of these guys should pit very soon. But if we get stuck in traffic here, that's going to suck more, really. So, time to deploy. I'm going to extend one more lap before Alonso because I need to get by Stroll, I need to get by Rick, and like make a second gain on the cars right now that would be a problem, straight up. That's the only way I get this done in a proper way. It'll be confusing at first, but yeah, basically, you're not wrong there, Lando. I might be ending up in the much wanted Mercedes, depending on the bidding. Car development is down to TP's mind, but the AI will have control over it over the course of the season. I'd like to see you do some videos on how to create the 2012 season, for example, in the game like I did with 2025. Could probably do something like that, James. Wouldn't be a bad idea. You see some other cars are starting to pit. We'll deal with that. Give the people what they wanted. Okay, Alonso. You are creating the gap that you need right now, I think. I hope. I pray. To get out ahead of the train. Although the train now is currently being driven by Sainz. It's actually not a big deal. Cleared it easily, as it turned out. Tsunoda pits now. Basically, this is when we need to pit if we want to undercut anyone. And Tsunoda is medium tires. Could we see a Tsunoda undercut into... Oh, never... Why do I always get to see these like these incidents in the periphery of my drivers? Like look there and then just Hulkenberg is sent to the Shadow Realm.
Gap 2.5. Car behind Leclerc.
Hulkenberg has retired. It is a virtual safety car. It's not the worst thing ever, but you do save a little bit of time around here. 5 seconds. So it's a bit poorly timed, Hulkenberg. Could you not have done it a little bit earlier? And everyone here is pitting, and Hamilton's fault has escalated. So any hopes here of undercutting has now fallen into the ground, as Tsunoda has done something too. What's happening here? You did indeed. You were not supposed to copy Hulkenberg. My plans have been foiled, but Danny Rick and Piastri are going to be more sad than anyone else with the current situation. It's not a bad place for us to be, honestly. We're still on fresh tires. We get to catch up to everyone. Hard runners might try and go till the end, which would be hilarious. But all things considered, it's not the worst thing ever for us here. 4 hard runners up ahead. Only 2 cars on softs. Okay. That would be very, very interesting right now.
Safety car is in the last corner. Try to have the tires ready for the restart. Could be.
Need the Alpines to do what Tsunoda and Hulkenberg did. Let us see if we get as terrible a restart as we did last time here with Sainz. Well, he didn't hit the wall. Guess that's kind of possible already. Danny Rick has been dispatched. Now it's just a slow Hamilton with damage. Show now with damage. Alonso fighting Stroll and winning is what we love to see. But yeah, clearing Russell, catching Perez here is going to be key. Hamilton has been dispatched almost into the castle section. Still running side by side, and we have a yellow flag now. I don't see any damage, so...
Looks like quite a big accident.
Oh, never mind. Hauger's crashed. Okay, basically just a slight squabble. Didn't even damage his tires, really. So barely anything,
Let's go, guys.
as it turns out. Meanwhile, Alonso has also passed Hamilton, and we can now DRS our way up to Russell. All is good for the Sauber team right now. We are enjoying ourselves. How's Lewis not in Ferrari? It's the 2024 season. So, Lewis doesn't go to Ferrari until next season, basically. But yeah, right now, we just manage. The fact that we aren't gaining on them is a little bit concerning. But we have left the others behind, and that is a net positive. I say as Danny Rick catches up to us again. That's a net negative. Might need to turn down the aggression on our drivers here, in terms of overtaking and defending. Because I think we're losing a little bit of time right now because of it. And that is a little bit problematic. Can't customize the line of sight season? No, you are right on that, James, unless I use an external editor. But it's hard-coded into the game that Hamilton starts with a contract that puts him in Ferrari in 2025. So he's already signed the contract for 2025 when the season starts. So when 2024 season is over, it goes to Ferrari for the 2025 season. Might be broken though, because they signed Hauger to that seat. So interesting to see how that actually works out though. See you later, Mind. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you for stopping by. How do you change teams? In what way, Mind? Yeah, end of the season you can change teams basically, yes. You're not wrong about that. The calendar you can only randomize to keep the same as previous seasons. Yes, you are correct about that. Falling behind so badly here. It's worrisome. But we should be able to clear Russell now, at least. Alonso, deploy. Lines deploy, get by. Send Russell to the wall if you must. Yeah, we need to clear Russell here. He's on hards, he's slow. Clear him, and then we can start chasing the top four. Just like that. And we actually left him outside of DRS, and Danny Rick is getting involved in it, as it turns out. Just by immediately on those soft tires. Basically, once you get to the end of the season, Mind, you'll get an option to where straight up just set switch teams. Or stay with your current team. Basically. Yeah, it's like everyone is saying. So you guys got it under control. There was no need for me to reply. I feel foolish now. But so far, this iRace has actually gone fairly well, I dare say. I think we are in a good position. And as you can see, our car is midfield. We're not catching Red Bull or McLaren, let's be honest. That is just the reality of the situation. We might be able to towards the end of this once we go back to the soft tire. But right now, it's not happening. And it's not that surprising, let's be honest. The interesting part is Paris is burning those soft tires pretty badly. And I still think we could see Piastri, Verstappen, and Norris stay on those tires till the end. All the way till the end, as it turns out. Plus you floof that game, locks him into Alpine. That's actually funny. Yeah, 27 laps now, a little bit over halfway, and we have another yellow flag.
Big shunt on the main straight.
Big shunt on the main straight should be one of the top 4.
Debris there.
Is that a big shunt? Or is that just an attempt to assassinate Piastri by pushing him into the wall?
Yeah, mate. I don't have that pace.
Keep your head down.
We do not have that pace, but we're definitely in contention for the 3rd best team. And I'll be happy with that in the first season of a pit lane challenge, I'm not gonna lie. Game that was supposed to be there's 2 cars. I might put my team name as Floofkers. That would be an interesting team. I used to play Sea of Thieves a lot in the past. Might actually need to play that again and just make the boat Floofkers as the boat name. That might be an idea. Okay, we are getting closer now to the point where we will need to pit again. Ocon actually pits just now. That's interesting. I think the play here will be to go for a soft tire. And we can actually run in full attack till the end, but in terms of the efficiency of a soft tire and running it till the end, while running it full attack is not really viable, running it standard is actually plenty quick, and you only lose 1 second running it light. So even running conserve here could be the play, and then just take it towards the end. But we shall see. Yeah, running light I think is going to be the main thing. And Harris now does pit. Where exactly does he come out? We're gonna end up in traffic here no matter what we do. Is the issue. So I think for Sainz, we are just going to get him in right now. Run him on the light softs. Manage. We're going for 5th and 6th here unless something happens. That's going to be the play.
Okay.
How far are we going to fall down the order here? We're going to get overtaken by Hauge. We are, but we're going to come out behind him. So down to 10th. That's not too terrible. That is honestly okay. Now, for Alonso, I'll do 1 or 2 more laps because we'll actually just get him in right away. The reason why we're doing this is pretty much because Danny Rick has pitted, and I would like to stay ahead of Danny Rick if possible and have my 2 cars just do light softs off each other. That could work very, very well. What's up, David? That's a potential season idea. Everyone picks a driver to represent them, and the better driver you pick, the worst car you get. Could be interesting to try out, yeah. Should put it the 2nd best car or the 2nd worst car on the grid. What? Sorry, David. I am not completely understanding what's going on. Do I have any nice plans for Easter? Just relax and take it easy. I am not going to stress with any plans. I'm just going to take it chill and enjoy a little peace and quiet. Play some video games again because there's been very little of that over the past month. So that is going to be my plans, Lando. But yeah, right now, Sainz is getting there in terms of tire temperatures. How are we doing in terms of lap times compared to the top 7 here that are ahead of us? 47.3 without DRS. Basically, we are already quicker than most cars in the top here. And while we are 30 seconds behind, there's still 20 laps to go. And if we manage these tires well, we could see something fun, although Alonso has absolutely shafted his tires immediately. That's not what we needed, and Norris and Verstappen does in fact pit. Okay, that is an interesting choice. That is an interesting choice. And Norris went softs, Verstappen went mediums. That is victory Norris, just based on tire choice, unfortunately. Unfortunately. We are going to try and beat Leclerc and Russell here. That's going to be the main goal. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it. Thank you, Edster, as well, for reminding me of my foolishness. Team call Floof's curse. Just make it in a way that you think is fun, David, honestly. If you want the second best car, go for it. If you want the second worst car, go for it. It's all up to you and kind of the challenge you're looking for to make the game more fun for you. Okay, currently we are just running together. We have Dan and Rick following us. 15 laps ago. Gas repits now. Bit late, honestly. It is soft tires though. Leclerc needs to pit, Russell needs to pit. I don't think they're staying on these tires till the end. That just sounds like a self-destructive. Very self-destructive, if you ask me. Right now, we are actually... I love that I have Alonso deploy energy, and Sainz just bumbles his way through anyways. Like, the energy didn't even matter. Oh, that is hilarious. Russell now in the pits. We should be able to beat him out. And I do need to get by that annoying Ferrari right now. The longer we stay behind that annoying Ferrari, the worse it's going to get. There we go. 10 seconds now up to the top cars here, but they have also pitted. They have, well, 10 seconds up to Piastri, and then we have another 10 seconds up to Paris. I don't think really we can fight for anything better than 5th and 6th. And with that in mind, we are going to conserve these tires. Because doing so will give us the best chance at fighting later on in the race. So we will play it a little bit safe here. Ocon P10 red flag this session. That didn't last long, unfortunately, Floof. Did not take long for Ocon to be demoted again. Crash Ocon. There is literally no mercy from anyone here for Floof's beloved Alpine. To the shadow rail, to shreds, they say. Yeah, right now we're managing. It's actually going fairly well. Just like that, Alonso and Sainz are losing time to the top cars here. But I don't think that's going to be a problem. We are gaining tire on Rick, we're gaining tire on Russell. And honestly, I believe we're also still quicker than them. We're still quicker than while running conserve. So all in all, it's not a bad thing. 15 seconds is a little bit too much to go for here. But we can try. We don't really have anything better to do right now. We might catch Paris, I'm not going to lie. It's going to be very, very close, however, if that happens. Floof wants one in the top 10 to crash, so Ocon can get points, basically. That is the whole hope for that one. Gasly now with a mechanical fault. Immediate karma. Gasly's car is about to explode. I'm going to have you guys play it safe. Even if you are on the aggression. Because I think you lose too much time in the corners just squabbling. It's the thing. Let's see what we can do in terms of managing these last few laps. 3 seconds a lap is viable, but it is going to require one car to pull the other and then swap. So far, it is going good. At this pace, we are catching Paris. We might just catch Paris if we're lucky. I want Sainz to deploy and use fuel. Get past Alonso, and you will be the one that takes charge of pushing this lap with your energy. Although it does look like Paris is going way more aggressive this on this lap. We gained good 3 seconds from the last one, 3.3. Let's see if we can do the same here. Worst case scenario, we'll just have one driver get the overtake done. And honestly, that's not a bad thing either. I think Alonso is just within DRS, which is kind of what we need him to be. Just about. 2 laps to go, 4 seconds. Last lap, we gained 2.4. Also, science kill each other. Damn floof. Norris now with a mechanical fault. See, you curse me, and immediately my rivals get a mechanical failure. Isn't going to change anything. It is just funny. I'm not going to lie. It is just funny that floof curses me, and immediately my rivals eat a mechanical failure. You know. Immediately. Final lap has begun. Alonso is falling a little bit too far back here, unfortunately.
UG tools.
Copy.
And we gain 2.4 seconds on the Red Bull. It's going to be really, really close. Both of them on deploy right now. Let's see if we can catch them. They are squabbling a little bit too much here. Probably enough that we did lose the chance to get them. But 5th and 6th with arguably, again, a midfield car starting from the pits. I'll take that. It's not a bad thing. And we can also just keep on prepping for next season when things are going to get a little bit more interesting.
No, guys.
Why did I dodge out of the way? Why wouldn't I dodge out of the way? Get sacked, Alpine. Norris wins. Verstappen comes second. Piastri third. Then we have Perez, who's about to cross the line. Then, of course, we have our 2 drivers. Ocon, unfortunately, could not score points here. Has been losing out massively to Floof's big sadness. We have Russell 7th, Leclerc 8th, Danny Rick 9th. And Stroll scores points
Thank you guys.
for the 2nd race in a row.
Incredibly managed.
Which is
To the pit lane.
not bad for the Astons. Are we going to have a problem here? But yeah, 5th and 6th, we'll take that. We retain our positions then in the drivers of 6th and 7th. Honestly, at this point, we might catch Perez or maybe even Leclerc by the end of it. But we have now caught up to Ferrari. We are now sharing 3rd place, but we have it on our 2 race wins. Not bad at all. Welcome back, Mind. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be the end of the stream as we just reached the end of Baku. And I kind of need to go. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. But we'll try and continue this. Maybe Wednesday next week. Ugh, this is bad. Am I going to survive component hell? Just about. I think we might need to make another front wing and rear wing going into Singapore. But we're fine. That is the official story anyways. But yeah, we are going to end it here. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. And we will continue this next time. And as I mentioned, hopefully it won't be a month and a half, more like a week this time around is going to be the goal. Hope you all have a very good afternoon / evening, morning, depending on where you are. And I'll see you all next time. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe. Helps me a ton. Bye-bye, everyone.